Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Cressivo live stream. Today is Monday, the kickoff to August, and it's an amazing day. Every day is an amazing day. Thanks for joining us, and if you're a new subscriber, thanks for hopping in. If you've already been here, thanks for coming back. This is an amazing opportunity for you guys to learn trading options better. And with the whole intention of creating income for yourself that you can live on. I mean, you can supplement your income if you want to, but you can also live on it if you want to, which is kind of a cool thing. And so the purpose of this live stream has been to walk through an account, put trades on and that sort of thing. Now, I want to go over, before we kick it off, first of all, as always, put the comments and the questions in the chat, and I'm happy to get to those. Before we kick that off, I want to talk about the account that I've been using as a test account. I've been trading that through a broker dealer called Alpaca, right? And I never traded with Alpaca before with real money, and frankly, I hadn't really heard of them that much. But I was attracted to them because they appeared to have been very tech savvy. So as I'm building this app is amazing. There's so many like cool features. Like, you know, I have all these, here, I'll show you from the beginning, just these different pieces. The discover section is finding trades with stock scanners, not these like basic or confusing stock scanners that are like a dime a dozen, but with real logic-based scanners specific to options trading, specific to creating yourself income on a regular basis. So that's part of the discover section, finding the trade, right? And then the management section has been like, well, let's manage our trade. Like, what are our positions? What's our realized gain loss? What are our transactions? How do we do two things? Number one, how do we make money, right? Because it's always about making money. But number two, more importantly than making money, is how do we protect our money and not lose it? Because it's really easy to make money in the market, particularly when the market's going up. And a lot of these hot stocks are, you know, going, and we see super high volatility. It's very, very, very easy to make money and harder not to lose it. The sort of focus in the management section has been to help you manage trades in a very risk-conscious manner, right? And then reflecting on things like let's look through our realized gain loss and let's see how much money we made and what did we make per ticker, and crunch all this data that you cannot do with any broker dealer or you cannot do with any app. Like, it's just not there, right? So that's the purpose of this app. Now, as I'm saying, I chose Alpaca because their API feed to do a lot of this testing as I'm building this app. Now, the app is built, by the way, and we have a bunch of subscribers on there. So thank you to those of you who are on this live stream who are subscribers. It's amazing. It's life-changing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased. I created it. I'm saying that because I know other people have said it, and I know the value that it brings people that focus on creating income. So going back to Alpaca, because this is important and I want you guys to hear this. I'm going to say something today that I really haven't talked about before. And honestly, I really haven't noticed it before. And that's the reason why I hadn't talked about it. But this is good. And if you're trading with real money, you have to hear this. I chose Alpaca because they have a great API, I thought. Very good connection. And actually, it is quite good. Like, from a tech standpoint, it is quite good. Now, where they fall short and why I'm scrapping and firing Alpaca and they could basically like hit the road, and there's other broker dealers like this that I'm going to talk about in a moment, is that you cannot specifically identify lots when you have covered calls that get assigned. And if you're serious about trading options, you have to watch this live stream. You have to watch it from the beginning to the end, because I put all this stuff. I'm a big like Cliff Notes kind of person. I'm not going to stuff boring things, filler like things. I'm just talking about the stuff that's super important for you to be successful. And if you don't hear this live stream, you will not be successful, because you're going to miss probably one of the most important pieces to trading options and making money successfully. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about. When you sell, let's just back up. Let's talk about the options journey in general, right? The way you create income for yourself on a regular basis for the long term is you do two things basically, and I'm going to expand on this, so pay attention. And if you don't get this all, watch this video again and just keep watching it until it clicks, but I'm going to try to make it as easy to understand as possible. First, you identify a stock that you like. That's like rule number one. Like, you cannot like move forward without this one building block. It's kind of like building a house. You need the proper foundation. You cannot build a 10-story house on like half a foundation, because after time, like for a certain period of time, it might still stand, right? But over time, that house will crumble down. This is the same thing. You must build your options portfolio on a stable foundation. So number one is you have to choose the right ticker. Like, you can't just be looking at like, oh my gosh, I made 200% on this, A, B, C, D, E, X, G, whatever trade. And you were like mesmerized by the rate of return. You have to start with, what does that company do? Like, what does that company do? Do I resonate with that company? Is it a good ticker? Do I think like it's going to withstand, the test of time? Like, is it gonna be good for the long term, right? That's number one. Because if you don't do that, all your shit crumbles. I promise you. It might not crumble tomorrow, but it will. And again, it's very easy to make money, and it's harder not to lose it. And you don't want to lose your hard-earned money, right? You just don't. So choose the right ticker, number one. So what do we do after that? Michelle, I choose the right ticker, now what, right? So the first step is usually you sell a put. And what you're doing is you're keeping your money in cash, because cash is freaking king, right? Cash is king. We all know that. And you're only buying the shares if the shares drop. So you're saying, okay, I love this stock, ABC. I like that company. I resonate with it. I understand kind of the basics of it. And I believe in that company. I believe in maybe the leadership of that company. And let's say it's trading at $100 per share. Then you choose the strike price, right? Like, at what price am I comfortable buying those shares? Maybe that's 90, maybe that's 80. The lower you go, the less money you're going to make. You don't want to make decisions just on money, right? This is like life. Like, trading is very much like life. When you make life decisions based on money, those are usually the wrong decisions. I'm going to give you an example. In the past, I've like connected with people who wanted help. I'm just going to use this as an example because it's a great example. I've connected with people in the past and they want help trading. And sometimes we start off with like, well, okay, let's connect and meet each other over Zoom, and you introduce yourself and I introduce myself. And sometimes I've walked away from some of those meetings saying to myself, man, I don't think I could teach that person. Like just sometimes it's like a vibe or an energy that I feel like just based on what they say or don't say. And in the past, sometimes I've said, I don't know, like I would make like $5,000 or $10,000. And so sometimes I would, and this is in the past, I haven't done this recently, but I would say, I'm going to take the money because like who doesn't want an extra 10K or 5K or whatever, right? So even though I thought like maybe it's not the great move because I don't know if we're compatible, I don't know if they're teachable, that kind of thing. I've done it anyway for money. And those have always worked out to be the worst experiences ever. Anything you do just based on money is not the right decision. Like you have to understand like it's not based on money because money is like this energy thing. It comes, it goes, and it's like water. It's just like this is how it works. You can believe it or you cannot believe it, but this is my true belief, right? So money is like energy. It comes and it goes. So you don't want to make decisions on money. You don't want to look at a trade and say, oh my gosh, I would make 300% on that. Let me just take that trade. No, you want to understand the ticker, right? So that's first. And then you want to understand like, okay, well, if it's at $100, am I okay buying that ticker at $80? Because you have to be okay with that. If and when you get assigned, assigned means I sell a put, I sell this ADBC put, and it's trading at $100, and my put is $80, and the stock goes to 70. I have to be okay buying those shares at 80, right? You don't ever want to roll your shares. You can agree or not agree. If you don't agree with that, you're on the wrong channel. You need to go find a different channel that talks about other things because it's just not the way I do it, right? And I'm not saying my way is the right way, but there are certain things, there's a lot of gray in trading. There's a lot of like not black and white, right? It's all gray. You got to choose what is best for you. But some things are black and white. And one of the things that's black and white, and I want you guys to hear me loud and clear, one of the things that's black and white with trading is if you sell a put and that stock goes below that strike price, you have to be okay buying those shares. If you're not okay buying those shares, you started with the wrong trade. You started building your house with the wrong brick, with not enough nails, however you want to look at it, you started the wrong way. Assignment is not a failure. It's part of the process. Like the part of the process when we trade is we sell a put. If it goes down, we buy the shares. When we buy the shares, we sell a covered call. If that stock keeps going down, we sell another put. So that is the whole premise to be successful. If that's not how you're trading, or that's not, how you want to trade, or that doesn't fit into whatever your groove is, then again, you're probably on the wrong channel. So that's how I do it, and that's how I've been doing it for years, and that is a proven strategy. And that's just all there is to it. It's like if I look outside and the sky is blue, right? It's not green. It's not like maroon. It's blue, right? That's how confident what I'm saying this stuff is, right? So you have to be okay with buying the shares. Now that said, part of the strategy as you trade, you will be buying more shares at lower prices because that's how you make money. So if you don't, let's say, keep cash on the side to sell another put or buy more shares of that same ticker as that goes down, you will not be successful long-term. Not with this strategy, not with selling options. It just doesn't work that way. And the reason why is because all stocks go up and all stocks go down. And we do not know how much they're going to go up or when they're going to go up or how much they're going to go down or when they're going to go down. We are not fortune tellers. I am not here saying there's this get rich quick scheme and it's called options. No, that's not what this is. This is using mathematics and likelihoods to make yourself consistent money over and over again. If that's what you're looking for, you're in the right place. But if you're looking for where's the next home run kind of thing, no, this is not the channel, right? So let's make sure we're still on the same page. And let me know in the chat if you disagree, and feel free to drop off if you disagree as well. That's totally okay. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So I start with the correct ticker. I'm okay buying those shares. I have more money on the side to the best case scenario, sell another put and then only buy the shares if it goes down more, right? And then when that happens, and as that starts to happen, you end up accumulating lots at different prices. Now I'm gonna say this kind of slow. Oftentimes I talk fast. I'm an excited, I'm a passionate kind of energetic person to begin with, but I'm gonna take a deep breath and I'm going to go slow because I want to make sure I don't lose any of you, right? So as you're going through the proper, correct journey on the right path when you're selling options for income, that's why we're here. I'm not looking for a home run. I want to make money this week so I can go do cool stuff. I want to make money next week so I can go do cool stuff. That's why I'm here, right? That's why I'm here in options trading is what I'm saying, not this video, of course. Okay. So as you do that, you're going to end up accumulating different lots. You're going to have 100 shares that you bought at one price. You're going to have 100 shares that you bought at a different price. You're going to have 100 shares that you bought at a different price, right? So I'm going to pull up, I'm going to show you, hang on a second. Let's see. I'm going to write this down because I know you guys can see my screen, because I want you guys all to follow along. Give me a second here. And then let me pull up a calculator. All right, I got a calculator on the side here. Okay, so check it. And I'm gonna get to your questions. I know Shalita's got a comment or a question. I'm gonna read that in a second. Okay, so let's say I buy 100 shares of ABC stock and I pay, $92. This has to be much bigger, right? So I'm gonna make this bigger. I don't know about you, but I need things big. My kids make fun of me. Like on my phone, I have like the enlarged text. Okay, so let's say I got 100 shares of ABC stock. Let's say it starts to go down, and then I buy some shares at $70, right? And then it goes down more, and then I buy some shares at, I don't know, let's say it really drops, or let's just say $65. It doesn't really matter, right? Now you can calculate this one of a couple ways. You can use my app, which has a calculator to calculate the average basis, or you could just use a calculator. I'm going to show you how to do that. $92 plus $70 plus $65. That's $227, and then I'm going to divide by 3 because I have 300 shares, right? So now that means I have 300 shares at an average basis of 75.67. We're just going to say, we're going to round it off, right? Now, here's what you do after that. This is so important. And those of you who are who are app subscribers, I launched yesterday, actually, a WhatsApp group. So it's complimentary. It just comes with a subscription. I'm in there, by the way. And this morning I was driving, and I don't know, it just popped into my head about mistakes that I see people make. Like in the position that I'm in, having talked to, first of all, I've been trading a long time myself, 29 years. So I've done everything. I've traded all different ways and all different, these strategies that I'm talking about on these videos work, and they have worked for years and years. And that's what I use to make a living, right? So number one. Number two, as I interact with people, I see what they're doing, and I say, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's not right either. And so I'm in a position to see that a lot of people are making mistakes, and I want to talk about that because if all these people are making mistakes, there's probably, I don't know, probably a few of you on this live stream who are making mistakes too. So that's why I'm talking about this. Okay, so I got 300 shares and an average basis of 75.67. Now I can do one of two things, right? Actually, you could do a few different things. Let's talk about them. You could freak out and sell your shares and then take a loss. You don't want to do that. If you're selling covered calls, you can sell 3 covered calls. I'm going to put on the screen. Sell 3 covered calls with a strike price of $76, right? Because your average basis is $75 and change. So you can do that. Or 9 times out of 10, it's better to do something different. It's better to sell a $65 call, right? A $65 call. And then if that call gets assigned, you're going to tag it to these shares that you paid $65 for. And then you can also sell a $70 call, and if that gets assigned, you're going to tag it to those shares that you paid $70 for. And here's the reason why. There's 2 reasons. And I put this in the video this morning for people. And if you're an app subscriber and you're not in the WhatsApp group, man, you're missing out. Like just do it. Like there's nothing being sold. It's just going to benefit you. Like just do that, right? There's 2 reasons why really you don't want to do this part. You don't want to sell 3 covered calls at your average basis. 2 reasons. Number 1, you're not going to make as much money. You're just not. That's not what, if you look at the math, 9 times out of 10, or maybe even 99 times out of 100, you're going to make significantly less money because the way options are priced, the more expensive options are closer to where it's trading, right? And then as you go further away from where the stock is trading, you're making less money. So right off the bat, number 1, you're not going to make as much money. Number 2, you're going to keep your shares tied up for longer, right? So you're going to keep those 300 shares tied up for a longer period of time. If you sell a covered call and you do it like the way I'm telling you, if I own 100 shares at $65 and then I sell a $65 call and that gets assigned and I'm going to tag those shares to that particular lot, if you do it that way, not only are you making more money, but you're also flipping your money out and back in again over and over and over again. So you're reducing your risk. Again, man, it's not about making money. Like you don't have to be smart. You don't have to be good. You don't have to have a good process to make money in the market, but you do have to have a good process, a solid process, and rules in place that you're following in order to not lose your money. I can say that as confidently as I can. Like that's just without question, that's an accurate statement. You must follow proper rules in order to not lose chunks of money, right? And who wants to lose chunks of money? Nobody, right? So that said, that's how we trade. That is the strategy of this channel. That is my strategy that I've been using for 15 years now and supporting myself. Like I don't have a regular job. And I don't make any money on YouTube, by the way. And I'll show you guys if you want. Like, let me just show you guys, because sometimes, let's see. I'm just going to show you. I'm not going to take a lot of time, but I'm going to show you. So, wait, I think I go here. So here's my live streams, right? Here's how much money I make. This is my platform, by the way, guys. And I'm not saying this to complain, so nobody misunderstand me. The reason I'm saying this is because I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I want to help you. I'm not doing it for the $4.88 that I made on Friday's video. I'm not doing it for the $3.30 that I made on Thursday's video, because there's not even minimum wage. It's not even close to minimum wage. So I'm not saying it for that. I'm saying it because I want to help you. So you have to listen. And if you don't want to listen, drop off, right? Now let's get to the meat and the potatoes of this video. So currently I trade with Schwab, right? It's not a secret, and I'm not paid. Like, if you want to go trade with Schwab, I don't get any kickback from them because I'm talking about them on my live stream. I do have lots of broker dealers that email me on the regular, basically, hey, make some videos and put my name in and we'll pay you X dollars. And I haven't done that at all yet, like zero, none. I haven't even really looked at that because I don't want to recommend something unless I know about it, right? So I'm not biased. I'm not suggesting Schwab. I trade with Schwab because I think they're the best for me. I've traded with lots of other broker dealers in the past. I was with Interactive Brokers for many, many, many years, actually more years than ever. And they're really good as well. And over time, there's been a lot of like new broker dealers, right? So getting back to what I'm talking about, I hadn't heard of Alpaca before. Robinhood is super new. We have Robinhood subscribers in the app. You can connect your broker dealer with the app. You can have an account with E-Trade and connect your broker dealer. The advantage is it helps you see, like, it puts your freaking glasses on so you can see what you're doing and manage those trades and be more successful, right? And so, not today, I think it was Friday, Saturday, something like that. I found out that I hadn't realized that not all broker dealers allow you to tag your lots. So when let's say I sell a $65 covered call, and then I'm with Schwab, right? So this is my process. I sell a $65 call and I sell a $70 call, and then those both get assigned on Friday, let's say last Friday. Now, I had 300 shares, but 200 of them are going to get assigned. So with Schwab, I have like a default in my account, and it might be LIFO, last in, first out, or FIFO, first in, first out, but I ignore that. I don't pay attention to the default. I call Schwab on Monday, and I say, hey, brother, like, I had this $65 call that got assigned Friday, and I want to tag those. Let's say I bought these purchased on, I'm just going to make up a date, 7/15. I don't even know if that's a work day or whatever. And this is 69, let's say 88. Purchased on, I don't know, 7/18. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call them and say, hey, I had this $65 call get assigned on Friday, and I want to tag those shares to the 100 shares that I purchased on July 15th with a cost basis of $64.85. So for some reason, I thought everybody was able to do that. And like different broker dealers like have different processes. Like, for example, Schwab, you have to do it on Monday before the day ends. You call them. With Interactive Brokers, they have kind of a cool online tool, but you have to do it on Saturday where you input it yourself. And for some reason, I thought like all these broker dealers offered the ability for you to do that. However, I found out the other day that is not true. And Alpaca, for example, you cannot do that. So the account that I've been testing with and showing you guys, I can't really show it to you anymore. I mean, I can show it to you, but the numbers are going to be wrong because they do not offer the ability to, it's called like specific lot assignment or specific lot identification, something like that. They don't offer that. And you know what? Robinhood doesn't offer that either. There has been so many people on this channel that say, oh my gosh, Robinhood's so amazing. And it's so easy to use on the app, and I could just on my phone. They fucking suck. And you cannot be successful options trading if you're using Robinhood. I'll just say that. It's just a fact, because you won't be able to buy different lots and then assign those. You also can't do it with Moomoo. Like, I don't know, I've had Moomoo. I never used Moomoo. That's a goofy name. Like, what kind of broker-dealer name is Moomoo? Like, that's whatever, but you cannot do it with them either. And so I don't know. I don't have the whole list of who you can do it with, who you can't do it with, but you cannot do it with Alpaca. I'm 100% because that's my account here, and you cannot do it with Alpaca. And it's funny because I had a business meeting this morning scheduled with Alpaca. My vision is to white label a broker dealer, and I'll tell you what that means. Right now, the way this is like the app. You can go into your settings page and you can connect a brokerage here, right? So I use a third-party aggregator called SnapTrade. And really there's not a lot of, they're like the best aggregator in the industry, and they're not really that good, honestly. So there's not a lot to choose from, and they're not that good, but you can, if you have Schwab, if you have Fidelity, if you have Robinhood, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers, Vanguard, whatever, there's like a whole list, right? So you can connect them. That's been challenging for me because there's some limitations. I'm a big believer, man, I don't like limitations. And here's why. Like, I'm a big believer, if I want to do this one thing, man, I'm going to get that done. Like, for example, the way I built this app is because I was looking for this kind of content, this type of support, these kinds of tools for years and years, and it doesn't exist anywhere. It doesn't exist in the marketplace, like, to buy, right, a third-party app, and it doesn't exist with broker-dealers either. So I said to myself, you know what, I want this, I'm gonna go create it because I'm the type of person, and this is what, there are certain things that separate like success and failure. And one of the characteristics of being successful, not just in options trading, but in general, whatever business path you're choosing in life, one of the characteristics is, you want to get something done, you get it done. If I can't find the way, I don't see the way, I make the way. So that's what I've done in this app. So my intention, like SnapTrade, they're good, and I'm using them now because there's really nobody else, but they have some limitations that I don't like. And what I'd like to do at some point is white label a broker dealer. Not that you have to use it, but let's say if you use this app, which is amazing, like out of this world amazing, and then you have your broker dealer, your trading account through the app, which would be totally like, it's not like I custody the funds or anything like that. I would be going through like a separate, like a Apex or something like that, like a separate broker dealer to do that. But the advantage would be to put everything in one, right? So that was my advantage. So I had this business meeting. I had one last week with somebody, and I had a follow-up meeting with Alpaca this morning, or this afternoon rather. And then I sent him an email, and I was like, I think you guys can't assign lots, and if that's the case, like, squash our meeting, because my thought process was, let me go down the road with them, because they've been pretty good so far. But they suck, and you cannot, maybe they don't suck if you want to trade stocks and be goofy. You want to just buy some stock and have some paper gain for, an extraordinary period of time. But if you want to be intelligent and you want to trade options, specifically sell puts, sell covered calls for income on a regular basis every week, like I talk about on this channel, then yeah, Alpaca sucks, and yeah, Moomoo sucks, and yeah, fucking Robinhood, I forgot their name for a moment, they suck too. So anyway, let's get back to the questions here. Shalita says, I paid a lot for formal training with options, valuable, and yet I got a lot of aha moments and nuggets from your live calls and your office hours, priceless. Thank you for saying that, Shalita. Man, office hours, so let me talk about that a little bit. So for app subscribers, we have office hours every Saturday morning. It's free. It comes with your subscription at 9 o'clock Pacific, and usually it goes for an hour. This past Saturday, we went for 2 hours. Oh my gosh, it was long. Because you know what? I don't know, there was just a lot to talk about, and people had really good questions. And I'm a believer, like, I don't want to be restricted to time. Like these calls, I try to stick to 30 minutes. But if we keep going, I'm not just gonna like hang up and squash the conversation, right? Yeah, those office hours are priceless. I can tell you, this past Saturday, we had like off the hook, priceless information. Oftentimes, if you're trading, I want to throw this out there. You don't know what you don't know. So that's like, you don't know what you don't know until that pops up and you say, oh my gosh, like, it's interesting to think about that. So Jot, can you make a video upon tagging the shares? Yeah, I could do that. I do already have some videos with that, but I think that's helpful. I am in the process of, man, like time is one of the things that is the most valuable asset, right? Time, you cannot buy time. You cannot give time back. Once you spend your time doing something, that's it. It's past, and there's no getting that back. That said, I am uber busy these days. Uber busy. Like I'm making enhancements on this app. I'm putting my Academy app in the iOS app store. That's like to learn options. I closed that for new subscribers recently because I'm in the process of transitioning that. And then I have like the Udemy videos that I've had. I've had over 17,000 students. And then I have a handful of people that I mentor on a one-on-one basis. And I have my own stuff. So like, there's not a lot of time. Right now, I'm making videos of the app, like walking through, let me show you how to use and I was going to do one of these today. This is by far the best discover piece in the app, which is the earnings edge. I'm going to walk through that in a minute. But your point about making a video tagging the shares, that's a valid point. But whoever your broker dealer is with, you want to double check. Like, do you have the ability? Like, you need to call them and say, can I tag? If I sell a covered call and I have different shares at different prices, do I have the ability to tag that covered call to a specific lot? And if you don't have that ability, you should like hit the door and run. Like just go somewhere else. You could transfer your account to somebody else. Like if you're with Robinhood, just move somewhere else. Move to Schwab. You move to Interactive Brokers. Move to E-Trade. They're not options people. They're just not. Otherwise, it's like this. It's like it's like driving a car. Let's say that doesn't have it reverse. Let's say my transmission's broken and I can't go in reverse. And, usually maybe I don't have to go in reverse a lot because maybe I don't have to parallel park, and I don't know. I just normally, I drive a lot of times and maybe I just go and drive. I don't even go in reverse, right? But that one time that you need to go in reverse, you need to have that there. This is the same thing. If you're trading options and you cannot tag your lots, you need to not be with that broker dealer. Fidelity does. So that's good that Fidelity offers that. Fidelity does not have an API though, so they suck in other ways. I have to be honest. Like Schwab has a very good API that feeds. You can, I think Fidelity's on here, so they do have an API through SnapTrade, I believe. They are on here, but they don't have APIs for other stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you want to trade with Fidelity, that's fine. I never traded with Fidelity before. I've used them many years ago with like mutual funds kind of stuff, that kind of thing, and I didn't like them that much. Global 36 says, very important discussion. I screwed up my cost basis by not knowing this ahead of time. Yeah, this is important. Listen, this about trading, when it comes to trading options, really is two basic ideas: sell a put, sell a covered call. But there are a lot of nuances that you have to know in order to be successful. First of all, if you mess up your cost basis, you can create a wash sale. I'm not going to talk a lot about that now, but let's go back to my example here. I sell 3 covered calls at a $76 strike, and then they all get assigned. Let's say the stock ends at $77, and all those covered calls get assigned, right? That means that you're going to sell your 100 shares that you paid $64.85. That's fine because you sell them at 77. You're going to sell these $69.88 shares at 77. That's fine. These shares, these $92 shares, you're going to sell at 77. That's going to be a wash sale. So just know that. Like when it comes to cost basis, you have to know these things. And you can listen to these videos. The problem with these videos, I'm going to be honest with you. The problem with these videos is it's pieced all over the place, right? It's like this content is here, this content is there, and it's kind of easy to miss it. It's all free, so that's kind of good, but it's easy to miss. When you subscribe to something, let's say the app or something like that, then it's easier to not miss that stuff and really get this content, because we talked about this, I think, on Saturday as well. And yeah, if you screw that up, like you get a wash sale now, you shouldn't buy those shares again for 30 days. It changes the basis. This number gets changed if you have a wash sale, and you're not going to understand why. You're going to be calling somebody and saying, what happened? And you're not going to know, am I making money? Am I not making money? Like you're going to like have a blindfold on. So you have to know these things. Otherwise, you will not be successful. You can be for a short period of time, but you will not be long-term. So you have to know these things. Let's see. Ava Marie says, do you call before or after the trade? It depends on how your broker-dealer works. Like Schwab, you call Monday. So the assignment happens Friday, and you got to call Monday before the day finishes, and then you got to double-check your cost basis on the Schwab site on Tuesday and make sure that they did what they were supposed to do. So there's also like this checks and balances because they make mistakes and way more often than you would think that they would. So it depends. Dust in the wind time. Cleveland Bruton. I think you've been on this channel for a while. I think I recognize your name. I sold another put on SG Sweet Green and made $52 premium on 4 days. Yeah, brother. Awesome job. And just keep in mind, we don't only want to look at raw premium. We want to look at like what's the rate of return. So you can do that in the app as an example. You could do it in a couple different places. Like let's say I want to look at, I'm going to go to the trade builder. Let's say I want to look at Sweet Green. I'm going to type in the ticker and I'm going to fetch the data. And then I'm going to type in the expiration. I always like 1 week. So I'm going to do 1 week. And then I'm going to look at, I don't know, we choose delta here, but let's go with, 33 delta. So there's a 33% likelihood that the stock is going to drop below the strike price by the time it expires, right? So we look at this, right? So this is paying $30, which that's kind of cool. $30 gets dropped into our account right away. But more importantly, how much do we put up? If this is a 550 strike price, I'm putting up $550. I'm holding it for 4 days, and here's my annualized rate of return, right? So you don't want to just look at the dollar value, like the raw premium, but you want to look at the annualized rate of return. You also always want to see, like, is there earnings coming up? I'm gonna add some extra like connections, like click this to see earnings. But in the meantime, I'm just going to go here, and I just want to see when Sweet Green earnings is. So earnings for Sweet Green is August 6th. The earnings app is by far it's like I don't even know how to articulate it. It's like in a class of its own. So this is a great thing to show, okay, is this a good trade or not a good trade? So when you see this, I would say I usually skip those. The reason why is because this hasn't been around as long. So I have different logic built in to just show me the best trades. Like, and then let me just duplicate this. I'll show you what I'm talking about. If I go to the screener and I run a scan, let me look at all the tickers that have earnings coming up in the next 2 weeks, and let me find the best trades. And so with that, like when we say best trades, what does that mean, Michelle? Well, that means a couple of things. That means that the implied move is bigger than the historical move, so this number is positive. So this is good with Sweet Green, but it also means that it goes up more times post earnings, then it goes down. So this is kind of even, right? It's like flipping a coin. I don't like the flip a coin stuff. I don't like that. I like an edge. Like I like the more likelihood. So me personally, I would like more likelihood. But this also shows, okay, we don't recommend this trade. But if you took the trade, here's how you want to take it. You could you sell a put underneath whatever the market anticipates, right? So the market anticipates this 20% move. So if I'm going to sell a put, I'm going to sell a put underneath that 20% move. This is like fucking gold, man. This does all the work for you. Here's your premium. Here's how much capital you need. Now you're making 74% annualized. So the only like negative thing is this 9 to 9 with Sweet Green. I personally like to use this, so I run a scan, and then I can also like sort it by, hey, I don't have a lot of money, so let me look at some cheaper tickers. Okay, Peloton. I heard of Peloton. Let me analyze that. Let me check that out. Oh my gosh, it's gone up 12 times versus down only 8. It's got almost 7.5% edge when we compare market expectation to historical, here's the trade I can take, here's the money that I'm going to make. So man, if you're trading and you're trying to make money and you don't have this app, man, you are doing yourself a disservice. Who's the app subscribers on this live stream? Throw some hearts up and let me know in the chat. I know some of you are. I know like Shalita as an example, our first person that subscribed. Like how can you make money? Like how hard is it to make money without using like tools like this, right? So let me know in the chat. So I see the hearts. I know Joy's a app subscriber. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's like life changing. It's like night and day. It's like this. When I'm on my computer, I need my glasses because I can't like see the numbers, right? When I'm outside, right? When I go outside to the pool, I put my sunglasses on because I don't want like the sun like blinding me, getting in my eyes. This is the same thing. If you're trading and not using the proper tools, man, you're doing it blind. Like maybe you can fumble around and do it, but you want to fumble around, you want to be successful. I don't know about you, but me, I want to be successful. Yeah. All right, so Lorena, I know you're an app subscriber. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I clicked on something and an ad came up. Let me just go back. Okay, so Global says Schwab all day over Fidelity. Yeah, I think there was something else wrong with Fidelity because I have worked with people in the past that have used Fidelity. I don't remember exactly. Some people are just not good at certain things. It's like let me give you an example. This is actually a really good example. Man, what's the name of, who's that guy that does this? Salt Bay. Who knows Salt Bay, right? Do you guys know Salt Bay? Yeah, I'm not an Instagram person, but my kids are, right? So Salt Bay is like, he's Turkish, I think. He's the guy that goes like this. Throw some hearts up, man. Give me some participation here. Who knows Salt Bay? So this was not super long ago. I forget how long ago. A few years ago, me and my kids went to Turkey, right? Istanbul. I've been there a few times. It's a beautiful place. And my daughter's birthday, we go to, I forget the name of the restaurant. What's Salt Bay's restaurant? Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. What is Salt Bay restaurant? There's one in Beverly Hills. There's a new one, fairly new. Nusret. I don't know, it just came out of my head. Okay, so it's my daughter's birthday. We go to Nusret. Now Nusret is a steakhouse, right? So Salt Bay is there. They're known for steaks. At the time, my daughter was a pescatarian, so she wasn't eating meat. And I'm like, why are we going to a steakhouse if you're a pescatarian? So she like, I don't know, she ordered some salad, it sucked, because they're not known for that. So trading options with a company, with a broker dealer that is not like known for options is like going to Nusret and ordering a salad. Like you just don't do that, right? It's like I go to Sugarfish. Sugarfish is like my go-to sushi place. It's not that expensive, but it's not cheap either. It's not, it's like my mid kind of like, it's like the go-to, you want some quick sushi, right? There's New York and LA. I don't know about other places. It's a chain though in LA and New York. And it's like I go to Sugarfish and I want to order I want to order something without fish. Like you just cannot do that. So don't be with a broker dealer that doesn't specialize in options. Otherwise, like you're not gonna be happy at the end, right? So Shalita says yes, the wash sale piece, another nugget. Thank you, Shalita. I appreciate that. My community is amazing. First of all, shout out to my community. Shalita's in Turkey, and it's interesting. I'm talking about Turkey. And so there's a time zone difference, and we have viewers from lots of different places, by the way. But she makes it a point to be on these, and she makes it a point to be in the Saturday sessions. When you focus, and also I meant to say this last time. I want to give a shout out to Joy too, and let me tell you why. Like Joy is always, she's on these calls, she's in my mentorship program, she's on the Saturday morning calls, she texts me questions when she has questions. And here's what I want to say about that. That is so impressive, and here's why. When you want to like be good at something and you throw yourself into that thing, there's no other option. There's no other like result other than to be successful, right? That's just what it is. And not just options trading, not just trading, like anything in general. Like you want to be good at, I don't know, like paddle. When I was living in Bali, I was playing a lot of paddle, right? I don't know. It's not pickleball, by the way. And every time I say paddle, somebody says pickleball. No, it's a different sport. But paddle is kind of like a cross between tennis and squash. It's very, very popular in Bali and also in Europe. And so the more I play, the better I get. So if I go every morning and go play paddle, man, I'm going to be really good. So the same thing, like Joy shows up here and she shows up here and she's asking questions here and she's asking questions here. And man, you're going to be a fucking rock star. You're already a rock star, but you're going to be like that much more of a rock star. So if you want to learn and be successful, you throw yourself into that thing. That is the best way to be successful. So yeah, I wanted to just say that. All right, let's see. Global 3659 says, or learn the hard way. Yeah, lots of you guys can learn the hard way. Like, you're either gonna like learn the easy way or learn the hard way. You're either gonna like, I tell people like that are interested in mentorship programs sometimes, and then they don't want to pay the money, and that happens. I mean, it's whatever. Everybody's got their own like gig going, right? And it's like whatever. And but I always say, okay, you pay here or you pay the market if you don't know those things, because you don't know it until you know it, until you come across that. And usually when you pay the market, you're paying a premium. It's usually like 2 times. Like I can't tell you how much money I've lost in my lifetime in the stock market. I should calculate that at some point. Probably could if I go back or get some sort of a ballpark. But I can tell you without question is hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm not bragging about that, by the way. It's just, sometimes that's how we learn. Like when I was learning, first of all, when I started trading a long time ago, there wasn't computers, there weren't cell phones. Like I had like Investor Business Daily newspaper, like old school, call my broker in Chicago on the landline phone. I didn't have the advantage of, let's say, YouTube or certain like online materials or mentorship programs or anything like that, and certainly not AI. So yeah. Joy says, do different broker dealers have different cutoff times for the expiration date? For example, I sold the BE put 15 minutes before Friday close at $200 strike for an easy $174 premium, and almost assigned it closed at 205. Yeah, let's talk about that briefly. So here's how that works. So you can put a trade in, like I can sell a put or I can buy my contract back anytime up until 4 o'clock Eastern, right? When the market's open. Now, when you sell a put, as an example, and somebody else buys a put, so some physical person is tagged to your lot, by the way, and a lot of people don't really think that through. So let's say I sell a BE put on Friday, and the market makers kind of match up buyers and sellers, right? But that might be like Jane Doe in Kansas City, Missouri, that bought that particular put, right? Is the way that works. And if she wanted to assign that contract, she has typically until like 4:15, 4:30. It does depend on which broker dealer. Not all of them have different broker dealers have different functionality, but she has time after the 4 o'clock close to assign that put. That means this, and this is why generally speaking, you want to buy back your contract before your stuff expires, even if you think it's going to expire worthless, because you're removing a lot of that risk. So like oftentimes you can say, okay, I think that contract is going to expire worthless. I'm gonna just wait and have that go. But no, the other choice would be, okay, I'm gonna buy that back for, let's say, $1, $5, whatever. You give a few dollars back to the market, and then you take that risk off the table, because what happens is, let's say something major is expected to happen after the close, that person might assign that contract, even though it closed, above the strike price, like when the market closes, and they have that 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever that time frame is to do that. So that's important to know. A lot of people don't know that. Global says, do you have a certain percent target to close a trade, and do you close out lower percent on a quick pop? That's a really good question. It depends. It depends on what you're looking at. I mean, typically, like, I look at like A's, 90% A. Like, I look at that in general. Like, I want to do things 90% right. If I'm 90% up, I'm going to like close that out generally. So that's how I do it. Sometimes if I have like a heavy position that maybe I kind of wish I didn't have such a heavy position, I would be more apt to close that. Like, let's say if I made 70% or 80%, or sometimes if, I don't know, if I'm going on vacation or something, like I don't ever want to be like somewhere ever, when I got to be tied to my phone. I don't even have my phone most of the time. A lot of times my phone is dead, and and I don't even care about that because I don't want to live by my phone, and I certainly don't want to live like looking at charts all day and be stuck like looking at tickers. So let's say if I'm going somewhere, like I used to do a lot of flying. I haven't flown that much recently, but I used to live in a lot of different places at the same time, and so let's say if I had a flight on, I don't know, like Tuesday or whatever, and I knew I was going to be up in the air. I mean, generally you have Wi-Fi on flights, but not always. The signal's not always great. So maybe I'd buy that callback or that sort of thing. So it really depends on your lifestyle as well. Yeah, good question. Count me in. Shalita says I'll be in Istanbul at the end of the year. Just added Nusret to my list. I think it's interesting. So Nusret, when I went, this was a few years ago in Turkey. It's a very high-end restaurant, Nusret, but it was very inexpensive. Well, I mean, like in Turkey, and then when they opened the one in Beverly Hills, because we live like local or in this area in LA, right? I think I went to take my kids not long after they opened. This was a few years ago. And when before we went there, before I made a reservation, I looked at the prices and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not eating there. It was way too expensive. I don't know what it is now, but it was really good. And they're known for like their gold steak. I don't know. Like go on Instagram and you'll see a lot of that stuff. Like gold steak and the guy, he's like, I don't know, he has like 10 bazillion Instagram followers or something. The guy, Salt Bay is his name. But yeah, maybe I'll come hang out with you in Istanbul. Man, I like Istanbul. That's a fun city. That's a super fun city. And Turkey is like an amazing place. Turkey is like Middle Eastern and European is interesting. It's a very interesting place. All right, Marcus says Schwab is good. I wasn't sure when they took over TD Ameritrade a few years back, but it's working out. I never used TD Ameritrade, but I've been using Schwab for a while. I don't know, like I don't even know, 5 years maybe or something, and I think they're pretty good. Joy says, I believe your mentorship and training helped me save my ass on losing a lot. Yeah, I probably did, but thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Listen, mentorship is like, and I don't want this to be a commercial ever, so I try to balance like what I say, like, but I don't want to not say it because people should know about it. Like, mentorship is meant to cover that cost like oodles and oodles time over, especially when you look at a long period of time. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, my daughter graduated from Suffolk University in Boston, and she has a psychology degree, and she got grants and things, and what scholarship. I think she had some scholarships. She did some student loans, but I paid a chunk of her college. I paid over $100K for her 5 years that she went, for sure. And she does nothing with her degree, and I think she absolutely learned nothing. Her last like couple of years were like during all that COVID nonsense where she didn't even like, I think she didn't even have a dorm anymore. They weren't even going to classes. Anyway, it was a gigantic waste of money in my view. And it was a lot of money, lot of money. And then I think about like my mentorship program, and it depends on different programs have different costs depending on how much. Typically, I price it depending on how much time I think we need to spend at the beginning. So sometimes people do like 5 days, sometimes people do like a whole month, that kind of thing. But it starts at $5,000, so this is the cheapest. And when I compare that, let's say, okay, pay $5,000 and be able to make like 15K like in a couple months or whatever. It depends on, it's different for different people, right? But like $5,000 investment can make you like $5 million over the next 20 years, right? And then compare that to like my daughter who spent, I don't know, I don't remember how much her school was, but I know I paid over 100. Paid over 100, and she does absolutely nothing with it, zero, and learn nothing. Not really, anyway. So yeah, thank you for saying that, Joy. One way or another, there's a cost. Yeah, so either pay a mentor or pay the market for sure, and the market will always charge you more, guaranteed, without question. Thank you for helping me make money. You're quite welcome. Listen, I love doing that. I love to be like, that makes me feel good. So I don't know. That's how life is, right? Like money's good, right? For sure. And money makes the world go round. But also like when you can impact people's lives in a positive way, I don't know. I get a lot of joy out of that. I get a lot of joy out of that joy. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So yeah, anyway, there's that. How long were you trading before you quit your job? That's a good question. So let me tell you a little bit of history about me. So I'm 53 years old right now. I started trading when I was 23. So here's, I'm going to give you a quick snapshot of Michelle, right? So when I was 17, I graduated high school. I skipped a grade when I was young. So I graduated young. And then I went to a state school. Like my family was not the, I love everybody. So this is not a negative thing, right? But like I was not fortunate enough, I'll say it like that. I wanted to go to New York City for school, but I wasn't in the position where nobody wanted to pay for me, and I didn't have a lot of help, like applying here, applying there. I didn't have a lot of direction, right? I just didn't. So I ended up at this state school that I got a scholarship for. I didn't pay anything for it, but I made a lot of really bad choices, and I ended up dropping out like a year and a half later. And then when I was 21, I bought a bar and grill. So I don't know, I used to go in this place with my friends and drink, and then the guy was selling it and he was moving somewhere else, and we were chit-chatting, and it was super, like he started by saying, hey, I would sell this place for 20 grand. I was like, 20 grand? That sounds like so cheap. Anyway, I didn't have any money at the time, and I put some money together, from family and that kind of thing, and I bought this bar. And then I met this guy, his name is David, when I was 24 years old. This is 1997. So I met him, and he was trading commodity futures and options. So I had the bar when I was 21. Prior to that, I had like a couple goofy jobs, but mostly like, that's early on in my as a young adult, right? 21. So I met this guy, David, and he was trading commodity futures and options. And I was like, what the heck is that? Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool that you could put up 500 and make 5,000. I just had no idea that kind of thing existed. So that was like a rabbit hole that I went down, and I just never looked back. And so, I sold the bar when I was, 7 years, I think I had that. So I was like 28. And then, but I was trading on the side, not for a living, but I worked for myself, obviously. And then, I did work like in an insurance company for a couple of years, like when I had kids. And I went back to college as well, which was a waste of time and a waste of money. And I do have a finance degree, but I did not learn anything. All this stuff that I talk about is not from that, by the way. And then I spent 12 years or so managing money professionally. So, for clients, and I had my own investment company and hedge funds and things like that. So I have been trading basically my whole life. And I guess your question was, how long were you trading before you quit your job? I was always trading. So since I was 24 years old, I started trading. So that wasn't, Anyway, that's enough about me. What else? Oh my gosh, what time is it? I feel so hyper today. 12:58. So I intend on going 30 minutes, and I always go an hour on these things. Listen, I really hope that this content helps. You have to understand the whole lot strategy. That is super important. And again, if you want to be successful, throw yourself in and set yourself up for success, because most people lose money trading. That's just a fact. Most people lose money trading options. Most people trading stock. So you have to give yourself an edge. You have to use tools like this, like these tools that I was going to go through one of these, but we don't have time. I'm going to do this tomorrow. Also, I'm building this paper trader account. So because I'm squashing Alpaca and they could basically go take a hike, I mean, my positions page is not really all that accurate anymore because of the lots, right? Because they don't do it that way. So I'm building this paper trader account to help people as well. It's not out yet, but the good thing about this app is anytime I add functionality, it just automatically gets shipped off to, you don't have to do anything. You just see the new functionality on your page. And right now you have all the amazing things. Let me find a trade, let me link my positions and my realized gains, and look at my trades and that kind of thing. And it works best if you have Schwab or Interactive Brokers. It works with Robinhood, but they suck, I have to tell you. You know, Fidelity, and most of our users are on Schwab and Interactive Brokers, actually. Schwab is my favorite between the two. Okay, cool. So I think we're going to call it a day because this was an hour. But I really hope this helps. Listen, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. That's important. I think I'm at like 6,000 something subscribers. And at the end of the month, I'm going to go to this YouTube conference in Dallas, I think it is. I forget where it is, something like that. And I was hoping to hit 10,000 when I go there because I just want to like walk around and be this 10K subscriber person. So help me get to 10,000 because I'm at like 6,000 something now. Also, if you're subscribed, you won't miss any of the videos that I put up because there's lots of really great content in all of these videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. Come back tomorrow, 12 o'clock. And if you want the app, let me show you where to get it. It's also in the description of the video here. I don't know why that comes up. Let's see. Sorry. It's here. Apps. Oh, I don't know. I have some. I'm not very. I was gonna say I'm not very tech savvy, but I am building this amazing app, so I'm not gonna say that. It's apps.cressivo.com, so you could just look it up in the description. Anyway, cool. I will see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.